What's up, guys? My name is Jerry, and today's video is going to be on the Boston Celtics, and we're going to be talking about how this team is quietly making power moves, and we're going to jump right into the video. Now, the Boston Celtics are coming off a season where they were 2 wins away from an NBA championship, and now they're looking to make some roster changes. Now, looking at the Boston Celtics and looking at the way that they performed throughout the playoffs, this team does not have many weaknesses, and I think one thing that they needed to add to the squad was another point guard or another ball handler, and that's exactly what they did. They made a deal with the Indiana Pacers, sending away Daniel Tice, Aaron Naismith, and a 2023 first-round pick in exchange for Malcolm Brogden. Now, I give this trade an A+ for the Boston Celtics, and it's so much to love about it. The first thing is that they kept all their core players. They didn't give up Al Horford, Robert Williams, and they still have their trio of Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Jalen Brown. Now, they did involve a first-round draft pick, but those are just sacrifices you have to make when you have a team that's ready to win now and you're looking for that NBA championship. So I love that about this trade. And then the second part, the best part about it, is that the player that they're getting, Malcolm Brogden, who is a very, very solid point guard in this league, and I think he's going to fit like a glove with the Boston Celtics. And what I love the most about Malcolm Brogden is the size that he has to him. He's a 6'5" point guard, or he can play the 2. So we're talking about a 6'5" combo guard that can do it all on the offensive side of the ball. Now, we look at his game, I would call him a 3-level scorer. Watching him since he's come into the league from Milwaukee to Indiana, he can score from so many different areas on the court. He can shoot the 3 ball off the dribble. He can create his own shot. He got the step back. He can get to the mid-range, get to his spot, and pull up. And then also he can get to the rim, and he's very crafty around the rim. He has the floater. He has the high glass layup. He can do it all on the offensive side of the ball. And then what makes him so great is that he's a playmaker. He's a great passer in the pick and roll. He can throw the lob. He can throw the bounce pass, get out in transition. He's making the right read. And then also he can play without the basketball, and I think that's going to be so important for the Boston Celtics, because we know they have a lot of guys that orchestrate with the ball in their hands. They have Jason Tatum, who has the ball in his hands a lot. They have Jalen Brown, who has the ball in his hands a lot, and even Marcus Smart was initiating the offense sometimes. So having a player like Malcolm Brogden that's going to be able to play with the basketball in his hands and play without, it's going to be big time for the Boston Celtics. So I like this move, and we can't forget that also that Malcolm Brogden is a great defender, and this is where that size come into play. He's 6'5", so he's going to be able to excel in that switch everything offense with the Boston Celtics. He's going to be able to switch onto some bigger players. He's very physical when it comes to playing defense, and I just give this a A+ for the Boston Celtics. Now, I don't know if Malcolm Brogden is going to come in and be a starter or be the 6th man. I heard that's up in the air right now, but whatever it is, he's going to come in and give the Boston Celtics some much needed help. So I like this pickup for the Celtics. And then they didn't just stop there in free agency. They also had a pretty big signing Danilo Gallinari. Now, just like the Boston Celtics needed some playmaking, they also wanted to add some additional scoring to the team, and that's exactly what they're going to get with Danilo Gallinari. And Danilo Gallinari has made a reputation for himself as being a very skilled scorer, and what the Boston Celtics are going to love about him is his versatility. He has versatility with his skill set, and also he's going to give them some versatility with his size. Danilo stands at 6'10", which is really some great size to have in the front court. He can play essentially the 3 to the 5. It's probably going to be between the 3 and the 4 spot. But we look at his game, and like I said, he made a name for himself as being a very skilled scorer. He's going to fit right in with this Boston Celtics offense, because we know at times watching them in the playoffs and specifically in the NBA Finals, it was just times where the offense would get stagnant and Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown could be the only 2 guys to generate some offense. But with Danilo Gallinari, he's going to fit in because he can play without the basketball. He's a great 3-point shooter, and he excels at knocking down his catch and shoot threes, but his offensive game does not stop there. Whenever the Boston Celtics, and especially this is going to be so key with the second unit. Whenever they need to go to a guy to get a bucket, they can go to Danilo Gallinari. And just like Malcolm Brogdon, I will also call Danilo a 3-level scorer as well. And he has a little bit more to his bag. He can shoot the 3 ball. He can definitely shoot the mid-range. I would say that's where he's the best. He can get to the rim. And then also he has some post game. He can score. He can shoot the post fade. He can overpower players. And he can do a little bit of everything out of that post. And then also he's a pretty good playmaker. He knows how to make the right read and the right passes. And the Boston Celtics are getting a pretty solid player with Danilo Gallinari. And it's giving them some much needed depth. So I think the addition of Malcolm Brogdon and Danilo Gallinari, I think the Boston Celtics made themselves a lot better without giving up any of their key rotational players. So the best part about this offseason for the Boston Celtics is what they're adding these vital rotation pieces to. They have a playmaker in Malcolm Brogdon who can score the basketball on all 3 levels, and he fills 2 holes that they need: additional scoring and playmaking. And then also he checks off some other boxes that are going to make the Boston Celtics a lot better. He's going to be a guy that can play without the basketball and knock down catch and shoot threes. And then also he's going to give a great defensive team some more great defensive presence with his physical defense and his nice size. And then also they fill another hole with Danilo Gallinari, adding some much needed scoring to their front court off the bench. He's going to be a guy that can come in and knock down catch and shoot threes. And then also he's skilled enough to create his own shot from multiple areas on the court. That's going to be so key for that second unit. And then we look at what they're adding to. The Boston Celtics already have a great championship core that just was two games away from winning the NBA Finals. And of course, it starts with Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. These guys are your prototypical modern day duo. 2 wings that can lock in on the defensive side of the ball and then come down on offense and score the basketball at a very high clip. The Boston Celtics definitely have something going with that. And I think Jason Tatum is ready to ascend. I think when you go through that struggle, it's going to motivate him. He's going to put in some great work this offseason. I think he's going to come back next season and be even better, because I think he had the playoff run to give himself that confidence that I can be a top 5 player in this league. So I expect Jason Tatum to ascend again. And then also my favorite player on the Boston Celtics that I'm the most intrigued by is Robert Williams. Now, he's very young as well. He's about 23, 24 years old, and I expect him to get a lot better. And with him being out, his biggest goal for this offseason should be his health. If he can come back fully healthy, he's such a game changer for the Boston Celtics. Whenever he's at full strength, he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and he covers so much area. They still have the Defensive Player of the Year, Marcus Smart, who I believe is just 28 or 29 years of age. He's going to come back. He's still going to play some solid basketball. I love what he does on defense, being able to guard damn near 1 through 5 at 6'4", 6'5". At his short height, he's very impressive. And then offensively, I think playing alongside Malcolm Brogdon is going to be great for him, because now he's going to have somebody to generate wide open threes for him. So that's going to be key. And then they still have Big Al. They still have the veteran presence on this team. And the Boston Celtics are looking good. And I'm expecting Coach Ime Udoka to have a great sophomore season as a head coach in his league. And the Boston Celtics put together a pretty great offseason. But that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down, let me know what you think about their offseason moves, and then subscribe for more weekly content. We do this all the time, man. And that's curtains.